Hello everybody, welcome back to 2B2T. We are here with 674 individuals. We're going to continue our journey to the south as we travel. I just realized I've lost... Oh no, my boat's still here. For a moment I thought I lost my boat and I was going to go, what happened to it? What did I do with my boat? Well, it is in your hand. I think we'll escape and we'll just come out here and then take a left. Oh. I'm forgetting something. Storage, Fulbright, block ESP. There we go. Hey, we can see stuff. We have a chance of finding treasures. Probably not, but we'll try. Vexy is here on my lap to cheer me on. He's watching intently the screen. Isn't that right, Vexy? Don't worry. We'll find something. Anyways, yeah. Welcome to Fusion's Adventure if you're just joining us for the first time. We've been traveling out from spawn. I checked my cords. We're at 270,000 blocks. We have traveled here on foot, boat, a little bit of horse, some rail occasionally, and a little bit of elytra because we have one elytra. We have not been in the nether, and we have gone all of this way really on foot in the overworld. And collecting things as we go. Everything we have, except for the banner. Because I brought the banner to myself from my main account, but everything we have is stuff we have found on our journeys. Mushroom Island. Always a good place for a potential base or stash, but doesn't look like anything else is showing up. It's not quite an island, is it? It's kind of attached here to the land. You'd have to build a defensive wall on that side over there. Keep the mobs out of your kingdom. Anyways, we're traveling onwards. We're going to try to reach our destination of 500,000 blocks. And then we're going to start a new series that's a little bit different focus since this is our second trip out. We went south or north first. Now we're going southish. We reached the 500,000 going north and found all kinds of cool bases and ruins and old farm bases, and of course the gear, most of the gear that we have now we all found. Never found a stash. Found a lot of supplies and stuff, basic supplies and building stuff, but not like shulk supplies. I mean, the only I guess stash type thing we found is we found this one little base on this current journey that had a chest full of shulks of rockets, which we took a number of them so that we could fly when we wanted to. We just have to repair our elytra as we go, since we only have the one elytra. We haven't found any others. Well, we found one. It was in this little supply base back closer to spawn. Sorry. And we decided to leave it there so that if someone else came along and needed an elytra, they could grab one, because the base was kind of like a little supply base of, hey, you're a noob, here's some stuff for you, you know. You're new to the server, here's some stuff. But it wasn't like fancy gears or anything like that, or shulks of stuff. It was just chests full of, you know, different building blocks and basic things and whatnot. Okay, looks like we found the end of the road. Don't you even think of it, spiders. You will meet a spidery death. Ha! You missed. Skeleton thought he could get me. Oh, well, he did. His friend got revenge for me laughing at him. That's why you shouldn't laugh at people. They'll always find you later and get you. It's probably an igloo bed, since there's nothing else showing up on the radar. Or a village. Yep, it's a village. We don't want no stinking villages. We see them all the time. We want something player made. I will say, I think I said it in the last episode, but this southward journey is a lot more sparse. We found some really cool builds, for sure. But it is a lot more sparse going south. We had discovered a lot more on our northern trip. But I guess that's normal because when you look at statistics and stuff about the server and everything, most people travel south or travel north and east when they start on the server. It's where most of the bases are, most of life is, everything. Which is curious. You'd think it'd be kind of evenly dispersed, but what makes people want to go north? Right? Not sure. I mean, when I think of north, I grew up in the States. It's like, well, it's just going to be cold and stuff, so I really wouldn't want to go north. I want to go south. Get to the tropical islands and the beautiful beaches, or the temperate beaches. You know, it doesn't have to be tropical. Things like that. It's like where you want to go. Oh, that's, you know, just in case. Why risk it, right? Yes, we have a bed set, but it's multiple thousands of blocks behind us by now, probably. So why risk falling in a hole? That'd be no fun. Hey, birdies. Added the jungle birds, but they never added like crows or robins or pigeons, finches. They need a little more biodiversity. Well, I guess they have that now in the new versions with the different chickens. That's something. Do we risk some flying? I declare we shall use these 15 rockets to fly. And look, we discovered a portal and a dirt pillar. This is a large, is it a large explored area, or is it just a confluence of pathways? There's another dirt pillar. I think it's just a confluence of pathways. Yeah. There's nothing here. Someone popped out long ago, checked the area out, did a quick loop, and decided, nah, and moved on. Well, how boring. They were supposed to build a base there for me. No, we have a high mountain. I don't know. Will we make it over? Oh, guess it's not that high. I guess we'll just kind of float along here. Let's see if we can find anything. We're getting larger and larger spaces of undiscovered or untouched terrain chunks. Which allows us to see more defined paths. Here soon we'll be traveling some of those. Old style village sitting here in an old chunk trail. Are you gonna try to chase the rocket? Is that what you're doing, Vexy? He got up and went to the monitor. He's sitting right in the very middle of the monitor, so I'm looking over at the other monitor to the OBS screen, and I'm navigating by watching the OBS screen because I can't see the main screen in front of me because Vexy's just, he's plopped himself right in front of it. Silly kitty. Guess that was all of our rockets. Oh, whoops. Nope. Okay, that was wrong button. I meant to eat some meat. Vexy, look what you did. You made me fall from the sky. Good thing I wasn't very high. I mean, I have a totem, so I would have survived, but still. Would you quit licking my cup? I don't need your kitty saliva all over my cup. No, you can't. No, you stay out of that. You little pill. What are you doing? Come on, stop it. It's mine. I'm gonna move it. There. Moved. Goofy cat. Why don't you go play with the others? I opened up the doors and the windows so that you guys can look out and feel the breeze and all of that. Why don't you go watch the birdies? Not that they can go outside, there's screens and everything, and don't really want them outside unless they're supervised. Being in an apartment building, even though we have 2 balconies. All right, boat, come on, I know you're excited to get going, but he was getting the motor going. So then it realized, oh, I'm a rowboat. But anyways, we have 2 balconies, and it's like, but you don't want to let the cats out unless you're going to supervise them, because cats have a tendency sometimes to get themselves into trouble. And unfortunately, not in this apartment, but in a previous apartment, we did lose a kitty. During a storm, a typhoon, it was heavy rain. Had one of the windows open, and it didn't have a screen. That's what I like about this apartment. It has screens. There was no screen, and didn't even realize it, didn't think about it. You know, because there was a nice cool breeze. There was heavy rains, but, you know, it wasn't super powerful winds. It was just a nice cool breeze, and so open up the windows, you know. Why not, right? Enjoy the breeze. Unfortunately, we think, well, not that we think, we know that somehow she was sitting on the window ledge and she slipped. Unfortunately, went down, fell 6 stories. Survived with terminal damage, though. Pushed her heart up into her chest cavity. What was it? Terrible time. And since it was in the middle of a typhoon as well, at the end of the typhoon, it was flooded all around the area where we lived. Our apartment and the building we were in wasn't flooded. We were in a flood-free zone, but getting anywhere out of there, you'd had to go through floods. And so trying to get out of there, I had to wade through water, carrying the cat in the cat carrier, You know, and here she's extremely injured, and I'm trying to get to a vet. You know, it was just a nasty experience. Unfortunately, she did not survive more than a day. In retrospect, you know, we made the decision, as all kitty parents or pet parents do, of, you know, oh, let's try to save her, let's do what we can, you know, what can we do, even though the doctors said, the vet said that it's probably nothing that can be done. Broken leg, broken ribs, heart in the chest cavity, other internal damage. In retrospect, we should have made the decision of, you know, okay, put her to sleep, let her go peacefully. Because then it would have been, I mean, it only made a difference of hours anyways. And just to think that she was probably in severe pain all of that time, even though they gave her medication and all of that. That's a hard thing. I can't imagine, you know, my, you know, human children, if I had children going through an experience like that and trying to make decisions of what's best. Obviously, you don't give up on your children. You know, and some people look at pets of, it's just a cat, it's just a dog, you know. Yes, but they're your kids too, especially when you don't have kids. That's your kid. You'll do anything for them. I mean, the 8 cats we have now, my goodness, I don't I love cats, but why we have 8? You know, it just happened. Kind of like kids sometimes just happen, right? Both of them you have control over. You can say no. But then accidents happen and you end up with more kids or kitties. But anyways, we don't let them out on the balcony unless they're supervised and we're with them. The windows have screens, so we don't have to worry about that. If we have the windows open, they can't get out. So amazing that she, you know, survived the 6-story fall, but still not amazing because of the pain and suffering that she went through. Now that I've all made you cry and bawl your heads off, we haven't found any bases or stashes yet. We're still going. We found some pillars and a couple portals. That is it so far. I'll have to get some more, set down an ender chest or find an ender chest. We have ender chest, but have to set one down and pull out rockets. Or do I have? No, I have rockets right here. I have a whole shulk already. We might do some more flying. It's not that I'm bored. I'm still enjoying this a lot, but I have new ideas, new things that I want to do for this series. And it's like, okay, but I don't want to give up on the goal. I still want to make it the 500,000 blocks. Still may come across something really awesome. You never know what's right over the horizon, right? Could be the largest base I've ever found, you know, intact, undiscovered, you know, I mean, but even if it's ruins, that's still really neat. I like that. Or even those small things, like, you know, the episode before last or whatever it was, you know, finding the bed with a couple signs and the guy going, I hope you have a good day, you know, and it's 6 years old. It's like, to me, that is so awesome that you can find that on 2B2T. I was very nervous when I first joined the server because I'd heard the stories, and the first things I had were fears, not of dying in my Minecraft character or things like that. It was that it's unsafe. You could put your identity at risk. People, hack, and could DDoS you. They could. In the past, they've stolen personal information and things like that. So I was very nervous about, okay, is this really what I want to do? Because of the history of 2B2T and what happened in the past with some of those exploits that went outside of the game, because people backdoored into the server, and so therefore they had access to your UIDs and to everything else. It's like, don't know if I want to do that. But it's turned out really well, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the experience and all of the different things that I'm doing on my main account, visiting other bases, getting invited to events, and doing different types of builds, and pushing the bounds of my knowledge, learning new farms and more about redstone. And I'm not an expert by no means on some of that stuff, but I'm trying to also, before I go look at a tutorial of how to build X farm, I try to think about it myself of, okay, well, I know that you can do this in this way, so how could I create a farm that's automated out of that? How could I do that? And then using my knowledge to try and put something together. And sometimes I'm successful, and like in the new wool farm I designed, and putting together everything from, the whole focus of that wool farm, if you haven't seen it, is at the Ninja Walrus 9-year anniversary bases. He makes thousands of banners that he'll store up for his year's supply of the new season banner, and then he plasters them all around. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll build a wool farm for you, because I know you're going to need that again, and you're going to need your purple wool and other colors. And so I did that. And then it was like, okay, well, I've built this rocket farm. What if, with auto crafters, what if instead of crafting auto rockets, I crafted banners? I mean, same concept. One crafter makes the sticks, the other crafter makes the banners. And so I switched it over, and worked perfect. And it's like, okay, now we're auto crafting banners. Woohoo! And of course, everybody thought that was awesome. Sit there and AFK after loading it up with shears and wood and stuff, and it would just craft the banners on its own and load them into shulks. And then it was like, well, can the crafter duplicate a banner? Because, normally you do that in a crafting table. You don't have to have a loom. So can we do that in a crafter? An auto crafter? And tried it, and you can. And then started putting together a farm. I had it working with my own ideas, but then I reached out to the guy that had made the rocket crafting farm setup that I really like, because there's a lot of different designs out there, and the problem is that they would always get clogged with extra paper. And so, but I found the one guy, sorry, I can't remember the name right now. It's on my other series, but where I give him credit. But I finally found his video, with hardly any views. The guy deserves a lot more than that. And had a foolproof farm to where it wouldn't get clogged. He had worked it out. So anyways, I reached out to him and said, okay, well, here's what I'm trying to do. I've adapted your farm to make banners, and now I'm adapting it to duplicate banners. I've got it working, but it gets clogged a lot, because obviously it's a little bit different. It's not the same as the rocket crafting or whatever. Any thoughts and ideas? I'm using some droppers to push the template back up into the crafter, but it doesn't always hold the blank banner back, and so as a result it gets clogged with blank banners, so and fortunately he saw my comment on YouTube, and he spent a little time on it and said, here, try this, and sent a picture, and and it worked, and and then I put a timer on it, and got it going, and then he sent another picture, and I've updated it, now it's got a clock timer and everything, and the one he designs different from what I implemented. I had already implemented a timer and stuff, but so I like that the collaboration and being able to use my own knowledge. Oh, cool. You guys look cool. Can't wait till 2v2t updates again in the future, and we get all the different cow variants and chicken variants and pig variants. And not that it makes a difference to the gameplay as far as what you can do with them. The same mechanics for each, but just to see the different variations. I like that you can see the different variations of the wolves now. Plus, I want the Copper Age. I don't care about the Happy Ghast. I don't know. I mean, I think that's for kids. They kind of like that. I have seen how it could help you in some building, to where you don't have to worry about trying to do scaffolding and all of that. I don't know. That's really didn't excite me with the Happy Ghast, but the rest of the Copper Age, that definitely excites me. Copper chests and copper lanterns and copper torches and copper armor. Not that the armor's any good, it just looks cool. And even the copper spear, or the spear now with the new mobs and how they can use the spear and whatnot. I like that. Plus, there's some biome changes and differences. Logs that lay on the side. Hey, panda. Grow mushrooms out of them in the forest. The leaf litter, the fireflies. The better oceans in the texture packs that has come out by default. The desert sounds and the desert flower. Not that any of them are, spectacular game changers. It's just, it's ambience and environment. Wow, we've almost gone 30 minutes and we haven't discovered anything except for a couple portals and dirt pillars. Where's the life? Where'd all you players in the past go to? How many of your bases and camps have I just floated past on the ocean? Probably a lot. Would distant... No, it doesn't. I was going to say, would Distant Horizons make a difference on this series? But then I was going, no, not really, because you still have to go to the chunks and load them before they're going to show up and stuff, so it's not going to help you. But it might be cool in my reboot of the series here coming up, when I'm going to circle around Spawn, to go ahead and load up Distant Horizons. So that way, as I'm going around making the loops around Spawn, I can see the past loops and see far into the distance. I could do that. That'd be cool. Unfortunately, I would love to have it at my base and on my main series and stuff, but I've learned, it exposes too much and gives opportunity for people to identify, the way the world has genned and possibly triangulate your location through that. A lot of work to do that. Very few people even know how, but there's people that would. Not that I've made myself a target so much of anybody. I mean, the first base I think was kind of a target because, you know, it was showing off. Well, I didn't show off the gear type loot. I showed off plenty of where we were storing stuff. And I'm sure that made a tempting target of, you know what? It's time to go loot this person. And then unfortunately the type of people that looted it also decided that they should blow everything up. My goodness. Got a little bit more flying to do here, and time will be up on this episode. Come on, I need to see what's in front of me. Load as I choke and cough. Alright, we're going to land right here on this tree. And we'll pick it up in the next episode. Thanks for joining, everybody. Hope to see you in the next one. Come back. Enjoy my rambling. Take care.